First, I want to acknowledge the passion by which you students have continued to argue to have ethnic studies be central at Cal State LA. I agree with you. I am going to specifically talk about Chicana studies. Knowing about our culture and race gives us a sense of agency and feelings that we are important. I get that. I want you to know that I have lived many of the experiences you have shared. I am CSULA grown. I too, like many immigrants, came across the Tijuana, Mexico border undocumented when I was 7 years old. My first language is Spanish. I grew up in a single parent home, my mom. She worked at least 16 hours a week or more her whole life. We lived in Pico Union, and I attended the notorious, for those of you who are Chicano Studies majors, Hoover Street School. I attended Berendo Junior High, and I was supposed to attend Belmont, but I was bused to Grand High School in the Valley. I received both a BA and an MA from Cal State LA. As I said before, I'm Cal State LA grown. I also worked full-time the whole time I attended Cal State. I didn't have any breaks. It wasn't until I entered a PhD program that I left Los Angeles. I personally understand the issues that we are debating. I love Cal State LA. I love it. It's been my home for 30 years. I love the students, and that's why I'm here. You are my familia. You are my family. So what I want everybody to know is, this is students and senators and everybody else, since I get the floor for a couple of minutes, the current debate in the Senate is not about saving ethnic studies. There really isn't something called ethnic studies at Cal State LA. There are departments and programs. I'm going to again talk about Chicano and Chicana studies. Regardless of what you may have read, I'm just getting nervous, or heard, whether the motion that is being debated passes or not, your classes in Chicana studies, and Pan-African studies, and AAAS, Asian American studies, and Latin American studies will be here tomorrow, and they'll be here the day after that. The motion that is being argued, which stipulates that at least one course designated as diversity be taught by ethnic studies department or departments who want to cross-list with ethnic studies, has very real implications for Chicano studies. If in the future CHS had to increase exponentially, not just a little bit, exponentially, their offerings of only one diversity course in GE, we might become a department that almost certainly only serves GE. How could this help grow our majors or fortify ethnic studies at Cal State LA? Most of the full-time faculty and part-time faculty hired to teach the many classes to meet this one requirement would mean many faculty would only be able to teach GE courses. Does this mean more majors? No. There are other CSU campuses that are using this type of GE service model. And while CHS may have a couple more majors, that's Chicana studies, in reality, this approach has not grown majors in these departments. It has also not grown their visibility at their respective campuses. They continue to fight. The point seems to be counter to the point the students are trying to make of making ethnic studies central to Cal State LA. I am clear that our department does not only want to become the help to GE, we also want to teach and explore our own major. Two, in general, many faculty who teach in ethnic studies departments have degrees in other disciplines. In our department, all of our faculty are interdisciplinary, and we all have degrees in disciplines such as English, education, history, anthropology, urban planning, psychology.
No Chicano studies.
All our doctorates of philosophy in these fields are what makes us experts, not only in Chicano, Chicana studies, but also in our respective disciplines. As a matter of fact, PhDs in Chicano studies were not available until a couple of years ago. UC Santa Barbara graduated their first group of 3 students in 2012. So while the thought that we are only experts in CHS, or Chicano, Chicana studies at Cal State LA is good, we also have expertise in much more than Chicano, Chicana studies. And it is offensive to suggest that we only belong in Chicano, Chicana studies. The counter-argument can also follow that on our campus, like Cal State LA, there may be other Chicanos, Chicanas, Latinos, Latinas that are outside of Chicano, Chicana studies that also have expertise in Chicano, Chicana studies. Under the motion that is being debated on the floor, they would not be recognized as experts. Finally, if the fight was really about saving Chicano, Chicana studies, I assure you that all of our faculty would vehemently fight. But we all know the truth about this fight. It is not to save Chicano, Chicana studies or ethnic studies, but to save a motion on the Senate floor that would not really solidify Chicano, Chicana studies participation in GE.